guys, what's up? It's White Sox Talk Live, and today I have my off-season priorities. And this off-season has been really hype. The White Sox just got Yasmani Grandal, and that was the biggest contract in White Sox history. And then they re-signed Abreu. It's just insane that they could do that. But my next off-season priority would try to get Nick Castellanos. Just a beast for, I hate to say it, the Cubs and the Tigers, because the Tigers are really bad. And I was like, why do you need him on the Tigers if we're going to be really bad? So he was going to become a free agent anyway, and then the Cubs picked him up, and then he had a really good end of the year with them. And I really hope he comes to the Sox, because right now the White Sox don't even have a right fielder, and he plays right field. He can hit for power, he'll hit for average, he'll get you doubles, triples, and singles. He can hit, and I think he can field pretty well too. But he will be an exciting player if he comes to the White Sox, just because he's a really good all-around player. He just crushes the ball. Seems like a really cool dude, like really nice personality, not like mean like Carlton Fisk. Because you know that dude is a beast for the Sox, but he's my number one off-season priority. Now let's get into the next guy. Next up, we have a third baseman, probably one of the best third basemen in the game, Anthony Rendon. Just an absolute beast at third. He is probably one of the best hitting third basemen in the National League. He'll hit 30 home runs, get you 100 RBIs. He can field too. The only reason why he's not getting Gold Gloves is because of Arenado. And if you guys have seen Arenado, just don't even ask why he gets the Gold Glove. Like, he is probably one of the best fielding third basemen we will ever see in the game. But he is my number two priority because he's a really good all-around player too. And like, he is a really good, and he just came off of a World Series, so that's good that the White Sox might get another third baseman. But then we have Johan, who would be at third, but then he would have to play second. But then we have Madrigal coming up, so it would be like he would have to play short for Tim, which I would prefer because Johan is better than Tim. And like, Johan can field really good because Tim had a lot of errors last year. But maybe if they get him, they move Johan to short and Madrigal stays at second, and then everything else would be the same. So that would work out pretty convenient if they got him, I hope. So he is my number two off-season priority. Then number three, we're getting into the big dogs right after this. And we have a former team, well, not former teammate, a teammate of him, Steven Strasburg, coming off of another fresh World Series too. Exciting player, World Series MVP. Really want to see him on the team because he just seems like a really good pitcher, and he seems really good. Like, he's one of the best pitchers in baseball right now. He's playing with Max Scherzer, and if you guys didn't know, Max Scherzer is probably the best pitcher in the National League, even though he didn't win the Cy Young. He's just so exciting to watch. It's like unbelievable. It's like crazy that he can do all this stuff. Like, he will be known as one of the greatest Nationals pitchers of all time. And hopefully he comes to the White Sox because he is awesome. And the White Sox could use a really good pitcher because I wouldn't say the White Sox pitching staff is weak. It's just Kopech's coming off of Tommy John, and that's really hard to be good coming off of that. And then we have Lucas Giolito too, who was just a monster for us, like an absolute monster, because he was really bad in 2018, and he took so many steps up that he was in the All-Star game. I mean, how do you do that? Like, he was just an absolute beast for the Sox. And then we have Ronaldo Lopez, who was okay. And then we have Cease, who's supposed to be really good too. But he would help the White Sox out a lot. And he is my number 3 priority that the White Sox would get. Next up, we have probably the best pitcher in baseball right now. And the best pitcher on the Astros. We have Garrett Cole. And his saying is, "You can't touch that, Sonny." He is no doubt the best pitcher in baseball. Led the Astros in strikeouts, a franchise record. That dude's just an absolute beast. Like, I don't know how he does it. He goes from Pittsburgh to being really bad, but everybody knew he had the potential to be what he turned out to be this year in Houston. And sadly, he didn't win the World Series, but he's just an absolute monster. Like, how does this guy do it? He goes from not being very good to the best pitcher in baseball. Although he didn't win the Cy Young somehow. Somehow Verlander won, which I'll give credit. Verlander is probably the second best pitcher in baseball, but I don't know how. That guy goes from being one of the worst pitchers in baseball to being the best pitcher. It's insane how guys do that. But if you guys enjoyed this video, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. On the road to 30 subscribers. And bye. See you next video.